guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. I got my main man Jake, aka SirTag, back on the channel. Tag, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be back.
Good, I am glad to have you back, and just like always, I screwed up the video like I always do, Tag. I waited too long to get your replays. They were wiped in the last maintenance break, so today we're going to be doing some live Grand Challenge matches, playing your new favorite Hog deck. I gotta say, I really like the look of this deck, Tag. Princess in there, I like it.
Yeah, man. We got
Tell us about the deck a little bit.
So we got Princess, we have Guards, and then of course we have Tombstone, all for log bait. The deck does exceptionally well against anyone that's running Bridge Spam, Golem, P.E.K.K.A, because I guess, well, you have just so many answers to all the Bridge Spam. Tombstone, Guards, and then even Ice Golem the Kite opposite lane, and then of course Mega Minion with ground immunity. There's just no great way of them being able to break through you. And then you also have log on defense against a whole bunch of Goblin Barrel and log bait decks that are extremely prevalent. I think it's just a really solid deck. The one somewhat weakness is going to be against like Graveyard, but so many people are not really running like Graveyard NATO anymore simply because NATO got a huge nerf. So I think this deck is way more viable.
Yeah, against Graveyard, because you said it was the toughest matchup, what's your kind of go-to defensive strategy?
So go-to defensive strategy is really just the best defense is a good offense, right? So
okay.
If you're applying a lot of pressure with a Hog Rider Ice Golem opposite lane, and they go in for a Graveyard plus Poison and then a Ice Golem, right? That's going to be an 11 Elixir investment. So 11 Elixir, if you're even Elixir and they do that, they automatically lose the game to a Hog Rider Ice Golem. There's no way for them to actually be able to defend their tower. So if you trade towers against a Graveyard player, a lot of times you're really going to be just extremely far ahead, because after Graveyard loses a tower and it's a 1-0 or a 1-1 situation, they automatically lose. So first and foremost, you want to apply pressure opposite lane. If you actually do have to defend it, then you can go drop a Mega Minion on top of their tank. So if you kill their tank, then the skeletons of the Graveyard will get worked on by the tower, because the tower redirects from the tank onto the skeletons. You can also, if you know that they aren't going to poison because they spent so much elixir defending your Hog Rider, you can go in for Guards on defense or Princess in the back. So you can drop your Princess right behind your King Tower, and then it will be shooting the skeletons from the Graveyard. If you really have to, there are two other situations that you could do things. You can drop a Tombstone behind your tower if they don't have a tank with their Graveyard, like a Giant or something. You can log the skeletons of the Graveyard. There's so many different things. I know I probably just said 10 million things, but
no, but yeah, you use what you can and you apply pressure.
Yeah, you essentially adapt to the situation. But the main thing is, the main premise of this is, if you're even Elixir, you want to apply opposite lane pressure. And if it's single Elixir, there's no chance of them actually being able to defend the Hog Rider and then also go in for a Graveyard poison. So you can always safely drop Guards.
Sounds good. You said this replay, it's not against like the best player in the world or anything, not a 20-game winner, but it is a really good replay just to kind of show you guys some tips and tricks and stuff to using the deck. So want to go ahead and press play on this one?
Sounds good, man.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, so yeah, I mean, you have Hog in the starting hand here. Is this the type of deck that you will start out a match with a solo Hog just to see what they have?
I still really dislike that, because I'm someone that dislikes going in Hog Rider right into Bridge Spam, or for instance, if they decide to go in and if they decide to go in for a NATO right at the start. So I like cycling my Guards in the back there. You can also cycle your Guards at the river. And notice where I drop my Hog Rider. The Hog Rider is going to be looking towards the pump, and I baited out a Mega Minion and I went in for a Fireball. That's a really nice tip and trick that you can employ, and you'll get more value if they drop anything near that. Because I was going to Fireball it anyway. I really just got extra value, making sure that the Mega Minion was completely and utterly useless.
Yeah, that's a great call there. I like that little trick there.
Yeah.
All things being equal, are you going to be deploying the Hog, if you're not trying to hit an Elixir Pump or something, are you going to be deploying it right directly on the bridge, or to the right more, or, well, I can see the answer right here. Yeah, tell us a little bit about Hog deployment.
So Hog deployment, if you're dropping it, if you know that your opponent is running a Golem deck or a beatdown deck, you want to be dropping your Hog Rider in the middle, because it's going to get to the tower faster. However, if you know that your opponent is going to be running a deck that has like a Tesla or something that you have to bypass, you want to make sure that you take full utilization of that furthest placement possible, so then you can potentially bypass a building like a Tesla. It's very hard for some people to adequately place their Tesla, and you can bypass it if they make any misplay.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice. Now, what about if they have a tornado? Are you just always going to combo an Ice Golem in front of the Hog if they have it in rotation? Or
Yeah, so if you don't, that's another great reason why you don't want to go in for Hog Rider at the very start of the game. If you do, and then they just NATO to the King Tower, and then they get a free Collector or a free Golem, because then your Hog Rider is out of cycle, you can automatically just kind of like lose the game, or you have to defend the entire time. It's horrible.
Okay.
So
in this matchup against the Golem deck, you're just always going to deploy the Hog solo, or not always, but you're not afraid to deploy the Hog solo and directly in the center of the bridge.
Yeah, no doubt. Usually I like supporting it with Guards or Ice Golem, but for the most part, that's a thing that I like doing.
Okay, let's pretend that the opponent was to pump up before you split the Guards in this match. Would you have still went in with a Hog Fireball, or would you have just solo Fireball and cycled the Princess or something behind the tower? What do you do if they pump up before you play anything?
I prefer to go in for a Hog Rider punish. If not, then just Fireball it. So another thing that I really want to talk about, I went in for a Tombstone first in sequence on this defense. You want to do that so then you can cycle back to another Tombstone, so then you're able to pull the Golem to even further the opposite lane. I could have actually pulled the Golem way further opposite lane with that Tombstone if I wanted to. That was a slight misplay, but it ended up working still, like, to the effect that you wanted. So essentially, when you're defending against a huge Golem push and you're running a Tombstone deck, especially when a lot of people are running like Lightning, you want to cycle a Tombstone early on and then get back to another one. So I cycled a Tombstone, I cycled Princess, and then I got back to another sequence of Tombstones.
Nice, yeah. I really love that cycle, that cyclability, especially against tougher matchups. You know, you see the same thing against. What if you're going against Lava Loon, for example? What is going to be like your first drop? Is it going to be trying to get an extra Princess or an extra Mega Minion?
So honestly, I like dropping Princess. I like cycling a few Princesses, so then if they Fireball it, then they're just going to net a -1 trade every single time, right? But for the most part, you really want to be applying pressure opposite lane. That's like the #1 thing that I like doing the most.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Tag, you are 19-0 right now with this deck in your last 19 matches or whatever. So let's go for the big 2-0 here and get some live matches in. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, sounds good, man. I killed the game on stream yesterday, 12-0, and then 7-0 this morning. So yeah, feels good.
Buddy. All right, let's continue the streak live here on CWA, man.
Let's go. All right, we're in game.
We're in a match here against Grustin. So, what's your starting hand like? Okay.
Hog Rider, Mega Minion, Guards, and Log. I'm just going to go cycle Guards in the back because I don't want to go for a Hog Rider, as I said before. So we see bats. This could be 3 Musketeers Giant, or, probably going to be a bait deck after seeing the Dark Goblin. I really don't want to go in for a Log on that because I don't know if he has Goblin Barrel. He probably will have it. I'm going to go in for Mega Minion right on top, and then I'm going to go in for a Hog Rider. So he's actually in a Minor Poison. This might be difficult, but now I know that I at least can log Goblin Gangs or whatever. I didn't have Mega Minion. I only had Ice Golem, so I can't really do anything to that Minor. Had to just eat that like a snack. And I don't really want to go in for a Tombstone because it's really not going to give me too much utility. I'm just going to go cycle Ice Golem in the back. And unfortunately, like, I can't go in for a Hog Rider because it's pretty far out of cycle. I have Princess next in cycle. I'm going in for Guards. I'm dropping Guards on the left-hand side, simply because I never really want to drop anything in the right-hand side. If I did, then it would give him log value, right? So not something I'm about. That's one of those things that I see people doing a lot. Like they're trying to get damage when they know that their Guards are going to get logged. It's just not a good play. Okay.
So you're able to safely, again, log that Dark Goblin without worrying about the Goblin Barrel.
Yeah, so he's probably going to... I mean, he could go in for a poison on top of these Guards, unfortunately. I think he thinks that I have NATO, but... that's not the case.
Yeah, because he did do the safe spot 2 times in a row now on that Minor. Or maybe it's just habit.
So this guy's actually pretty good, but it's actually very important to cycle the Princesses in the tower that you have most tower damage on. Or most, health.
And now that he uses poison on the Princess in that lane, he's not able to poison immediately, at least, with the Minor. And you get 2 swings. Very nice, very nice.
I'm trying to save my Mega Minion for defense because he's probably going to go for a Minor Poison. That's why I wanted to cycle my Tombstone on that instead of cycling a Mega Minion.
Okay.
So my Mega Minion will clean up his Minor when he drops it. That's very important for me.
Okay, so saving the Mega Minion as basically identifying your best counter to his win condition, which is
it's
Minor.
really the only like viable thing that if he wants to poison it, he's not going to get too much value on. So
exactly. Okay. So now you're going to have your Guards basically saved for the Bandit or whenever you need them.
For Ice Golem Hog Rider, actually.
Okay.
And then, he's got P.E.K.K.A. So this is really not a good matchup, man.
Okay.
I could go for a Fireball, but I'd rather just go in for a Princess. and clean up the bats that way. I'm going to go in for a defensive tombstone. He's going to go in for a bandit. I'm going to go in for guards. He's actually going to go for a miner right on top. That's pretty well played by him, but I think I can just get some log value off on the Dark Goblin. If we kill that, then we make sure that the tombstone stays alive a little bit longer. And that was very important. Mega Minion converting defense into offense is always very, very nice to have. To go for a Hog Rider Ice Golem push again. I'm going to go in for a free Fireball. He's probably going to drop, yeah, he drops Goblin Gang. And
Nice.
Assuming like Goblin Gang or Bats or something. And I think the Skeletons, yes, awesome. So this
Nice.
Well, man. Going to go in for another Princess. He's probably going to go for a Miner. Okay, so he doesn't go in for a Miner where I thought he would, but we're trying to drop high guards so that he's not able to go for a poison on top of them. And I think I can go in for like another Ice Golem Hog Rider and just cop the W off of this. Going for a pre-log as well.
Do you... This is so beautiful the way you're breaking it down. This is great. Do you... Oh, look at that, baby. The pre-log and the Fireball prediction. Nice job. That's 20-0, baby. How do you feel, Tag? How do you feel?
Feels good, man. Just like the 20-0 challenge.
All right, let's go right back in then. Let's go for 21, man. I really liked how you dropped the predictive log and you dropped the predictive fireball there, but you didn't do it until double elixir time. Is that something that you don't feel comfortable doing until it is double elixir, just given the high risk reward there is there?
Honestly, if you have an advantage in the game, there's no reason to throw it away. I feel like this dude was not going to be able to break through as long as I drop like guards away from my tombstone and he doesn't get absurd poison value. And he kept having to poison my princess. It just like did not work out for him. And then he realized that he had to go same lane as me because he wasn't really like breaking through. I had princess and mega minion on top of the miner for the most part, and that was like the only little bit of damage that he ever got. It wasn't working out for him, and I just felt like if I played really hyper aggressive and tried to end the game for no reason, it just wasn't a good play.
Sounds good. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Also, double elixir, you're going to be more cognizant of their card cycle, so when you see that, then you're able to just make better predictions.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go. Because I had no idea that the dude had P.E.K.K.A for a long time, man.
I know he didn't drop it until I don't think until double elixir time. But do you think he made a mistake by going by switching lanes, or do you think that was the right decision given that he started playing the P.E.K.K.A one to try to build off a counter push off that?
I really think like it was just an interesting play to just not drop the P.E.K.K.A early on. He should have used his P.E.K.K.A, and then as soon as the P.E.K.K.A crosses the river, then you drop a miner and push off of that. He didn't play the deck correctly at all. But,
why did you start out with guards there at the bridge, just switching it up?
You can drop guards in the back or at the river. It just doesn't really matter too much.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to go and try to defend my princess here. I'm gonna spend a lot of elixir, but I think it's gonna be worth. I'm gonna eat the Goblin Gang on the right hand side. I guess that the prince might get a hit. I don't think so though. Yeah, so it's fine. As long as the prince doesn't get a hit, we're fine.
Okay. So it looks like you're going against Goizen or Giant
Poison.
Fireball. Yep.
I hope it's not poison because it's a lot harder to deal with. And if he has minor, it's going to be very difficult. But we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah,
hopefully he has zap as well. So if he has zap, then it's going to be a little bit easier because I'm able to...
he does,
Yeah, then we'll have a much easier matchup then.
Okay, so he's starting out with a giant in the back there. You respond with the tombstone immediately. Are you thinking to push to the left here, or...?
I just don't have that much elixir. Like, I don't want to go in for a Mega Minion, or I don't really want to go for a Hog Rider, like, right into the Mega Minion. I think that would kind of be a bad play. I'm going to go for my Mega Minion right on top as soon as it targets a skeleton to keep my Mega Minion alive and make sure that it wins that battle. Making sure that the Mega Minion wins. It's really, really important in almost every circumstance, so I love employing that. So my Mega Minion, like, usually when I have, like, Ice Spirit or any way of, like, redirecting his Mega Minion, I always try to make sure that my Mega Minion stays alive. Going for a Princess, and I'm going to try to cycle back to an Ice Golem to make sure that we kite off his lane. It's very important to do so. I think the Princess might chip it away so then I don't actually have to deal with it. Oh, Princess is going to miss.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice. Man. Clutch.
Dude, I thought the Princess was going to miss. I thought it was really going to
Pulled it off, though. Pulled it off.
It's kind of scary.
So far, he's just been kind of mounting small little mini pushes at you. A giant, a prince, a double prince, but no big push, and you're doing a good job defending. So finally, you break through for 2 hits on that left tower at 1866. Now it's going to be really the first kind of semi-big push, I guess. It's going to fireball.
He was able to hit them both. I thought I staggered them well. I guess that was just a really good fireball by him, not going to lie.
It's okay. You're still able to defend pretty well here. You do have Ice Golem, I think, maybe, back?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm just hopefully a skeleton pops and then it doesn't hit the tombstone.
Nice. I'll tell you what, you're seeing right here the power of Tombstone and Guards in the same deck in this meta, right? You're just shutting down bridge spam or princes or whatever, you know? Good fireball.
It's absolutely insane.
So able to take down that E-Wiz with a log there.
Ooh, that was a really bad tombstone.
Unfortunately, the Giant decides to... You can see the Giant actually got pushed by that fireball, I think, a little bit to the left, causing him to avoid that.
Dude, Santa Claus, it's like not allowed to do that to me.
It's okay, though. You still have the lead here, and we are into overtime. So let's see what the opponent does here. It looks like he's going to just rush you here. I don't think this is a good play on his part, but we'll see.
Drop high guard, so he's not able to fireball them. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, he got really frisky, man.
Yeah, he did. That was a bad play. I feel like dropping the Prince and the Giant, knowing that you have Guards and Tombstone. I mean, what is a Prince and a Giant going to do, right?
I don't know, dude. I don't really expect much from people that run Giant Double Prince anymore.
Oh, shots fired! I run Giant Double Prince. Tag. Point proven. Point proven, right? All right, hey, we got to do one more, man.
All right,
we got to
man,
do it.
So 21-0 right now?
21-0. Yeah, you are. We would stay for the whole 12, but it'd be like a 45-minute video. So
yeah,
I won't do that to anybody, but hopefully you do get the clutch the 12. And if you do, maybe you'll bring this to your channel?
Yeah, maybe, man.
Maybe? All right. All right, go in whenever you're ready. All right, cool. Speaking of your channel, though, do you have anything good on the way that we should know about?
Yeah, so I'm covering a Mastering Golem archetype video. So
Ooh,
mastering.
I love it.
Yeah, one of my friends ended up getting 41 grand challenges in an entire week, like 12 win, 41 grand challenges.
Wow, who?
With a Golem deck. And I ended up getting some tips and tricks from him. I love the deck that he plays. It just makes sense. And I broke down the entire, like how to play it perfectly almost. And I gave his best tips and tricks. And after I like spent some time with him and learned the deck, I don't know. I was kind of amazed by how good it was and how well he played it.
That's
There's a
awesome.
lot of things that I was able to learn from.
Who is it?
Sana Dude. Really nice guy.
Yeah. Doesn't he have like, he's like the Grand Challenge Beast of the Century, right?
Yeah, there's a few of them, but he's one of them. Yeah, he's
nice.
Just savage.
All right, so here we go. You're going against another difficult matchup here. It's a P.E.K.K.A. control-y minor type deck. What are you thinking so far? Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little bit unfortunate. I'm hopefully like he's got minions, which is going to be really annoying for me. But I'm gonna have to go in for Ice Golem to pull the P.E.K.K.A. back. I didn't really have a way of kiting the P.E.K.K.A. opposite lane, so I had to kite the P.E.K.K.A. same lane. That's another thing that I just don't see done very much, but it's very important to do correctly. Ice Golem's actually gonna headbutt the tower, so I appreciate that.
Dude, he made it all the way there. That poor P.E.K.K.A.'s been alive for about half the match, I feel like.
Yeah, this is just like an awkward situation. I had a really bad cycle. I don't want to cycle my Mega Minion because it's really the only reliable way of getting tower damage or killing his, killing his miner, as I said before, right? So I want the E-Wiz to walk up and give me a fireball value, but this is crazy, yeah.
That's nice. All right.
That's so much damage, man.
Yeah, you got so much damage there and a beautiful fireball to finish things off. Get a lot of damage off that bandit, and E-Wiz pretty much rendering his counter push worthless here. You have the Mega Minion.
Always keeping the Mega Minion for the miner is just something that you're going to see time and time again.
Yeah,
I'm going to go in for an Ice Golem, and then honestly, one of the biggest things that I see, like the misplay that I see with Hog Rider most often, is people play it like a very aggressive bridge spam deck, which it isn't at all. People decide like, hey, like I'm playing Hog Rider, right? So I just go in for Hog Rider and then I defend. No, you defend first, then you go apply pressure with your Hog Rider after you defend. So you saw right there, like how the Mega Minion, it was so important for me to keep that Mega Minion alive, right? Like it just did so much damage to him.
Absolutely, and then you're able to really take care of this counterattack very easily. I noticed that you do go in with a Hog Ice Golem into the P.E.K.K.A. when you know he has enough elixir for it. Is that something that obviously you're totally comfortable doing it? It's always a good play if you have the elixir to defend?
Well, when you're up elixir and you're defending every single push, yeah, you can. It's like,
gotcha.
It's different.
Yeah, let's say that let's say that for whatever reason you were down elixir or he had a more challenging counter with the P.E.K.K.A. Would you ever switch lanes or?
Yeah, totally. Okay. You got to switch lanes when things are not working out for you.
Okay.
Also, another thing that I just did there, sometimes it's just not very important to deal with a minor poison. Poison does 216 damage. Minor does around 500. And if that happens, like, you know that your tower's at 2,000 HP. It's literally going to tickle your tower. And I just felt like, if I don't defend that, it's not going to matter. I'm just going to go in for a Hog Rider, cop the W, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for coming on, Tag. Always appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to that Golem video, man.
Yeah, man. It's by far, I think it's actually the best video I've ever made on my channel. So,
Whoa, hype.
yeah.
Well, hey, if that video goes live before this video, which I think it will, I will link it for you guys in the description below. Tag, thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt. It's a pleasure coming on the channel as always, Ash. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Undefeated, 22-0 with this deck. Pretty solid. If you're looking for a good Hog deck, make sure you go ahead and copy it in the deck link. What? The deck link in the description below, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Check out Tag's stats and player profile, again, in the description below at statsroyale.com, a partner here on CWA, along with Bren Chong. Check out Bren's information in the description below as well, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, take care, guys.